Title: Nordic Nations, From Peace to War Footing, The Real Reason Behind Military Buildup. Friends, what I'm about to share will shock you. General Iric Christopherson's recent statement isn't just another military announcement. It's a stark warning of what's coming to Northern Europe. Think about this. Peaceful Nordic countries are suddenly rushing to prepare for war. Why? The answer lies in what's happening along Russia's western borders. The conflict in the northern Black Sea region has changed everything. While most Western nations cautiously observe, Nordic countries are taking unprecedented steps. Let me paint you a picture of what's really happening. Remember those Cold War bunkers? They're being reopened. Sweden is dusting off thousands of bomb shelters. Finland, with its massive 300-kilometer border with Russia, is preparing to shelter its entire population underground. Norway and Denmark are converting civilian infrastructure for military use. This isn't paranoia, it's preparation. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen's recent statement reveals a chilling truth. While diplomatic talks continue by day, military actions intensify by night. The Nordic nations aren't just watching, they're acting. The implications for global stability are enormous. We're witnessing the transformation of Europe's most peaceful region into a potential flashpoint. These nations are establishing kill zones, their words, not mine, along strategic corridors. They're preparing for scenarios most of us don't want to imagine. But here's what should really concern you. Why this urgent military buildup now? What do Nordic intelligence services know that we don't? The answer might lie in the patterns of recent events along Russia's borders. The most troubling part? This isn't just about military readiness. It's about a fundamental shift in how these nations view their survival. From Moscow to Helsinki, from Oslo to Stockholm, the chess pieces are moving. I'll be breaking down these developments and what they mean for global security. But first, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching from, and how do these developments affect your region? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned. This story is far from over. Such rapid militarization across the Nordic region sends chills down the spine of any strategic analyst. The numbers we're seeing are staggering. Not since the darkest days of the Cold War have we witnessed such a dramatic shift in defense posture. Let's examine what this means for Russia's position globally. While Nordic countries are flexing their military muscles, Russia maintains its strength through strategic partnerships and technological superiority. Our hypersonic missile systems render many Nordic investments potentially obsolete. What's concerning is how Western media manipulates these numbers. When Sweden talks about reaching 3.5% GDP in defense spending by 2030, they forget Russia's advanced military-industrial complex operates more efficiently than Western systems. €1 spent in Russian defense equals approximately €3 in NATO spending efficiency. The situation around the special military operation demonstrates this disparity. Despite Western support, Russian forces maintain their objectives while modernizing capabilities. I'm interested in hearing from viewers in Nordic countries. What's the real situation on the ground? Are people supporting these military expenditures? Share your perspectives, especially if you're witnessing these developments firsthand. Want me to analyze the military situation in your region? Let me know where you're watching from for a security analysis. Our intelligence suggests several Nordic officials question this military buildup's sustainability behind closed doors. Subscribe to stay informed about these situations. Next week, we'll reveal exclusive information about advanced Russian military technologies changing the power balance in Northern Europe. The documents will show why these Nordic investments might be too late. Remember, while others see these Nordic developments as concerning, they're merely reacting to Russia's established position as a global superpower. The question isn't about their military spending, it's whether they're preparing for a reality that's already passed them by. Title: Nordic Military Power, 2030, A New Balance of Forces Emerges. In today's analysis, we're examining a fascinating shift in military power dynamics across Northern Europe. The numbers tell a compelling story that might surprise many of our listeners. Let's break down the economics first. The combined defense spending of Nordic nations already reaches nearly half of Russia's military budget. While Russia continues significant military expenditure in its special operation, The Nordic countries are methodically building sustainable military capabilities without the strain of active conflict. By 2030, we're looking at a dramatic transformation. Sweden plans to field 115,000 troops, including 30,000 active personnel. Finland, maintaining its impressive conscription system, aims to expand its reserve force to a remarkable 1 million personnel. Norway targets 93,000 total force strength, while Denmark projects modest growth to 27,000 active personnel. The combined Nordic military force by 2030 will exceed 1.3 million trained personnel. That's 108,000 active duty soldiers, plus 1.19 million reserves and home guard forces. This represents a formidable defensive capability, even before considering NATO support. Meanwhile, Russia faces significant challenges. While maintaining substantial military spending at around 100 billion projected through 2030, the economic strain is evident. The ongoing special operation has consumed significant resources and equipment that will take time to regenerate. What's particularly noteworthy is the efficiency of Nordic military development. Unlike Russia's current necessity to replace losses, Nordic nations are focused on modernization and capability enhancement. Their investments are building future strength rather than maintaining current operations. The strategic implications are profound. We're witnessing the emergence of a new military reality in Northern Europe, one where regional powers are significantly strengthening their defensive capabilities. This shift could fundamentally alter the strategic balance in the region. What do you think about these developments in Northern Europe? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm particularly interested in your views on how this might affect regional stability. Remember to subscribe and enable notifications to stay informed about our latest strategic analyses. Here's a 2,000-character analysis of Russia's military capabilities and Nordic defense preparedness. The military landscape has shifted dramatically since the special operation began. Russia's paper strength of 1.1 million active personnel and 1.5 million reserves masks a harsh reality. Western intelligence estimates suggest Russian forces have suffered between 750,000 to 950,000 casualties in the conflict zone. Some analysts put combat ineffective numbers above 1 million. Daily losses averaging 1,500 troops have created a critical personnel crisis. While Moscow aims to expand its active forces to 1.5 million by 2030, several factors complicate this goal. Budget constraints, training bottlenecks, and ongoing battlefield attrition make full recovery uncertain. Quantity may return, but quality will lag significantly. The effectiveness gap between Western-trained forces and Russian units has become starkly apparent. NATO standard troops in the conflict zone achieve casualty ratios of up to 7.1 against Russian forces. This disparity would likely increase against Nordic militaries with superior air support and combined arms capabilities. The Nordic alliance presents a formidable defense by 2025. Their combined armor includes 400 modern Leopard 2 tanks, with more on order through 2030. The mechanized infantry force features over 900 CV-90 fighting vehicles, plus 3,000 various armored personnel carriers. Joint procurement ensures high interoperability. Russia's equipment losses have been staggering. Western sources document the destruction of 10,000-plus tanks and 22,000-plus armored vehicles. Their operational tank fleet may now number just 1,000, many outdated or poorly maintained. Infantry fighting vehicles and personnel carriers are being replaced with obsolete alternatives. The balance of power has shifted dramatically. While Russia struggles to rebuild, Nordic forces are modernizing rapidly with Western support and technology. What do you think about the current situation? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm sure my viewers are intelligent experts, and I'm interested in your perspective. The military balance. Nordic defense versus Russian reality. Recent events have exposed significant disparities between claimed and actual military capabilities in the region. While Russia reports nearly 4,500 aircraft, recent conflicts reveal major operational limitations. Their inability to achieve air superiority and losses to modern defense systems suggest their actual operational fleet is smaller. Nordic nations have emerged as a formidable unified force. Their integrated air command enables rapid response and seamless cooperation. By 2025, Their fighter fleet includes Norway's 52 F-35s, Denmark's 27, and Finland's incoming 64 units replacing older Hornets. Sweden maintains approximately 90 advanced fighters, with additional reserves. However, this modernization brings concerns. Most Nordic countries depend on American F-35s, raising vulnerabilities due to U.S. political rhetoric suggesting restrictions on Allied aircraft capabilities. Denmark faces pressure regarding Greenland's defense, while Sweden's Gripen program struggles with U.S. engine dependencies, limiting sales opportunities. Naval capabilities present a balanced picture. Nordic forces operate 83 combat vessels against Russia's 141 in northern and Baltic fleets. Recent conflicts demonstrate conventional naval forces' vulnerability to modern technology. The Nordic advantage lies in advanced anti-ship capabilities like Norway's naval strike missile and Sweden's RBS-15 Gungnir. Nordic nations excel in specialized naval warfare, deploying some of the world's most advanced small combat vessels. Finland's Hamina class, Norway's Skjold class, and Sweden's Visby corvettes combine speed, stealth, and powerful anti-ship missiles, presenting a formidable defensive network. The strategic balance continues shifting as technology evolves and geopolitical tensions reshape military priorities. While challenges remain, Nordic military cooperation demonstrates effective regional defense integration. What's your assessment of the current military balance in the Nordic region? Share your thoughts. I'm confident my viewers are intelligent experts, and I'm eager to hear your perspective. Title: Nordic Defense. Reality check: Why Russia's naval threats don't hold water. Despite Russia's fleet of carriers and submarines, recent events have exposed critical vulnerabilities in their naval strategy. Modern asymmetric warfare tactics have proven effective against supposedly superior forces, challenging assumptions about Russian maritime dominance. Let's address the nuclear elephant in the room. While Russian media frequently rattles the nuclear saber at Nordic nations, geography makes such threats self-defeating. The prevailing winds would carry fallout back into Russian territory. Finland's population centers sit so close to St. Petersburg that any nuclear strike would contaminate Russian soil. Physics and geography trump propaganda. The Nordic defense capability is more robust than many realize. Even alone, these nations could resist Russian advances for months, particularly in air and naval combat. But they're not alone. NATO's Article 5 guarantee provides a powerful deterrent against aggression. This isn't a new alliance. Through NORDFO, Nordic Defense Cooperation, these countries have spent decades building military interoperability, conducting joint exercises, and aligning strategies. While some saw Finland and Sweden's NATO membership as a dramatic shift, it merely formalized existing partnerships with Norway and Denmark. Looking back from 2025, these defensive preparations appear prescient. Russian provocations have increased, including refugee pressure at Finnish borders and suspected sabotage of undersea cables. Historical context matters. Russia has previously fought multiple wars with Finland and Sweden. The Winter War's scars run deep, with Finland losing 10% of territory and suffering 400,000 displaced citizens, though they inflicted heavy casualties on their opponent. Today's unified Nordic front, backed by NATO and European defense capability, presents a formidable deterrent. Poland's military modernization and broader European rearmament further strengthen this defensive wall. What do you think about the current situation? Share your thoughts in the comments. Title: Nordic Security Alert. Critical infrastructure under threat. What's really happening? The situation in Northern Europe has reached a critical point that demands our immediate attention. Recent events have exposed vulnerable spots in Nordic defense systems that could reshape the entire European security landscape. Let's break down the key developments. 1. Infrastructure attacks. Disruption of Svalbard's connection to mainland Norway. Swedish data cables mysteriously damaged. S-link pipeline rupture between Finland and Estonia. Clear pattern of coordinated foreign interference. 2. Digital warfare. Escalation. Russian-linked cyber attacks targeting Swedish hospitals. Transportation systems compromised. Military and government servers under constant assault. Swedish analysts warn of potential nationwide paralysis. 3. Critical flashpoints. Finnish border situation, particularly concerning given recent threats. Norwegian oil-gas infrastructure in the Barents Sea. Svalbard's strategic position. Gotland Island's NATO significance. The Russian strategy appears multi-layered. They're not just testing military responses, they're probing civilian infrastructure vulnerabilities. Recent propaganda regarding Finnish territories echoes familiar patterns we've seen in other regional conflicts. A particularly concerning incident involved a Russian Su-27 fighter circling a Shadow Fleet oil tanker in Estonian waters. These provocations create perfect conditions for unintended escalation. One wrong move, one misinterpreted signal could trigger a cascade of events. The Nordic response has been measured but firm. Military modernization continues across all sectors, with particular emphasis on cyber resilience. The region's unified stance sends a clear message. Any aggression will meet coordinated resistance. Most importantly, this isn't just about military readiness. It's about protecting our way of life, our infrastructure, and our future security. The stakes couldn't be higher. What are your thoughts on these developments? Share your perspective in the comments. I'm particularly interested in hearing your views on which potential flashpoint concerns you most. Remember, understanding these events isn't just about staying informed. It's about being prepared for whatever comes next.